Hi, this is Ashley Eckstein, voice of Ahsoka Tano, and thank you for listening to the Super Awesome Geek Show.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? John here, and today we are going to, I just woke up this morning, and I wanted to come on a little bit earlier than normal, see who's around, but also I'm going to be a hard stop at 8 o'clock this morning for the Formula One game and Formula One race in Singapore. So, yeah, so starting a little bit earlier just so I don't miss that race. What if I turn this off? There we go. That looks better. We'll get the lights on when I go to the toy section over here. When we get to that, make me smaller. All right. Let's see here. We got to what do we got to do? So today I guess I'm just gonna today I'm going to go over some Star Trek stuff. I've been meaning to open these up all week long, and I just didn't get to it. So I thought, since I'm not going to be doing the full length this morning that I normally do, I thought maybe I would open them up on this stream instead of, and I know it's not vintage. Well, it compares 90s to today, so it has a little bit of vintage in there. You'll get some, if you still consider 90s vintage, you'll get some minor views at vintage, I guess, and maybe some information. I don't know. We'll see. Where's my community tab? I'm looking to do something. Oh, did I? No, I didn't close out. Okay, we're good. I thought for a second I closed out the stream. I was like, wait a minute, did I just close out the stream? No, I didn't close out the stream. I'm fine. Lax here. Good morning, Lack Attack. How you doing? You're up early today too. Look at you. Awake early in the morning. All right. Where's my community tab on the computer? I don't know what's going on here. Might go to my channel maybe. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about some Star Trek figures. I got to open some of these things up and take a look at them. So that's what we're going to do. And yeah, I think we can. I was going to post this in my community tab, but I cannot find it on the computer. I know where it is on the phone, but the phone's being used for the other thing. Well, it'll probably post anyways, right? It'll show up to you guys. Yeah, no, we'll just trust it. I'm good, brother. How are you, Super John? I am doing fine. Let's just go over and add this to the stream and make it bigger, and we'll shrink myself down, and we'll turn on some lights here. Bam and bam. And we'll take a look at these. Okay. So what I have here is a selection. Oh, there's two I didn't grab. Dang it. You know what? I'm going to run into the other room. They got to be right nearby. They're not right behind me. No, they're not. They got to be like right in my pile in the living room. Let me grab you guys. Looks like your camera was unplugged. Oh, well. That happens once per screen for some reason. Screen link. Why am I blue? What is going on here? What happened to my... Why is it showing our old Mowich logo when I turn off? That's not the logo it should be showing. Where did my link go? Where'd my camera go? What is this doing? I don't even know what this is doing. Wireless capture for your iPhone or Mac. I have no idea how this happened. Why did it... Settings. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. It went to like my Elgato capture card for some reason. I don't know what it's doing. All right. So anyways, as I was about to say, I've got two more characters that I've got to go grab. I know they're in the living room. They got to be right in my pile of stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play... Let's play one of these video chat things. Let's do the Super Friends popcorn, and I'll be right. No, we'll do turtle gymnastics, and I'll be right back. Geez, they weren't where I thought they were. They were not. I almost gave up, and then I saw them right at the last second. So, okay, all right, let's get back onto this. It can't ever go smoothly, can it? You know what I mean? I think I'm prepared. Wow. I think I'm prepared, and then, I'm not prepared. It can't always just go 100% smooth, huh? All right, so I think I've got all the ones that I own right now. There are 8 figures in the new Playmates line right now. There are 8 action figures, and I've got a couple of the old ones. Jean-Luc Picard here, and I know on my original Star Trek, they're not going to have all their accessories with them. I mixed stuff up too. Like, I thought he should have a data pad and a thing, but he came with this, or no, I think this came with somebody else. But it's the little thing, the sex thing that he had on Rigel or whatever, that the planet where the pleasure planet. So I thought it would be funny if he was hanging on to it. So I gave that to Picard. And then same with Data. He's got a tricorder in his pocket in a little bag and this computer thingy that comes with him. But I also just gave him this little data pad because I thought he should have a data pad. And it looks like, because he's got his hand like that. He can't hold a phaser. But he's got this little door that opens and you can see Data's innards on that little door. But so I got a couple because we have Picard and Data from the new ones that we can compare these two. And it even looks like he's coming with the same computer. It almost looks like the exact same mold. But this time they didn't bother to put a sticker on it. They just left it completely blank. So, yeah. So we can compare these when we open them up. We're gonna open these two up, and we're gonna open. I have two of Spock's. We can open one of the Spock's. My eyes bugging out again. Sometimes my eyes bug out when I'm on these things. Staring at a screen too early in the morning, bugging my eyes out. No turtles were harmed in the making of that clip. They were not immediately eaten. And then the other thing I did is I grabbed some originals in the original packaging. Like I've got Picard here, so we can look at Picard and sort of compare them. And there he is with the little machine, the little computer thing. He's got a cup and a tricorder, a phaser, and his stand. But what I also wanted to show off was a little bit of some changes that they did through the years with the original line. Like this is a Jean-Luc Picard, and I believe this is a first series figure, 1992. Whereas this one says 1994 on it. So it's later. So there, Picard, they did them first with the jacket, and then they did them normal, which is the one that I have open and the one that we got new. So, but what I wanted to point out here was, like, Star Trek is very much like Star Wars, Kenner, in that they originally had them in the 90s. They came on what I like to call a 10 back, because there were 10 action figures on the back of the box. And you had Captain Picard, Counselor Troy, Lieutenant Data, Worf, Riker with a tear in his shirt because he was there. You got Geordi, a Borg, a Ferengi, a Romulan, and Gowron the Klingon. So those were the 10 figures you got, and the very first card back is basically this card style. So this was if you're going, this Picard was put out later on a different card back, All these figures were put out later on a card back that had like 20 or 30 figures on the back, So if you're going for, like, if you're a Star Wars Kenner collector and you're going for Darth Vader, the best Darth Vader for you to find out in the wild on a random toy hunt and be like, holy crap, look what I found at a garage sale, would be the 12-back Darth Vader, because there are 12 action figures on the back of the box of the Darth Vader on the back of the packaging. And then later that Darth Vader came out where there was like 21 on the back of the box, then 32 on the back of the box, 48 on the back of the box, and so on. So basically, it's the same with Playmates Star Trek. If you're going for Captain Picard, the best one to find is the 10 back, because you're going to get the original first time he was put on a card. And same with all 10 of these figures. Because see, like with this one, now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 figures on the back. And so it's and they're talking about Deep Space Nine figures coming soon and things. So it's 2 years later. Plus, you can look at the date, 1992 to 1994. So a couple of years later, and you got Picard on a card back with more figures on it and everything. And so this might be the original card back for the dress, this shirt, where this one had the coat. But you could also find the one with the coat in these style packaging. You know what I mean? It's the same thing they did with Star Wars in a sense. Like some figures didn't go away once their run was over. This was still the early 90s where sometimes they would carry figures forward on different card backs, that were the whatever card back they were running that year. Because the front of the packaging is pretty generic and it just says their name, Captain Picard, So, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah. But anyways, what we want to do is we want to compare this to the new one. And the new one is a smaller card. It's a lot smaller of a card. And what I find fascinating is this card back, to me, looks more like this card back. But yet, this uniform was on this card back, I think it's because of the colors, because this one's more orange and has an orange, you know what I mean? And the way the ship is placed on the card back, like, that looks more like this ship, And the colors are yellow and purple and stuff, so it matches. To me, it matches the original card back more than the later card back, the 94 card back. But the figure is clearly this figure from 94, Yeah. Even the accessories. See that? Look at that. Except this one comes with a cup, and the new one comes with a tricorder thing, a data pad or something. Interesting. So we've taken a look at the older figures, and one of the things with Jean-Luc Picard is I don't collect a lot of reaction figures. I want reaction Super 7 action figures. I love these things, but they're $18 to $20 a pop, so I don't buy them that often. But whenever I do see them on sale, like I found this one, I think it was $10 or $11, I pick it up. So all the ones that I own are ones that I found when they were on sale for $10, $11, $12. Even if they're $15, it's better for me than $18, So, and it just so happens that I have a Captain Picard. So that's pretty cool. We can, look at the 5 POA reaction version of Picard versus the new one. But I'm not going to open this. I don't open my reaction. Unless, well, I do have a lot that are open because the bubbles fall off. So it seems I have a box where these are. I'm going to get some I got to get some more cases from Figure Shield and put them in cases so I can hang them up. But I've got a box full of reaction figures being stored. And every time I open that box, there's one or two more that the bubble's fallen off of, because these just don't stay to the card at all. And I have a feeling that over time, all reaction figures are going to be off their cards because the bubbles are going to fall off. But yeah, it's kind of a neat. I like how they're cheesy CG pictures of the characters on the back. Like, what the hell did they do? Why'd they do that such cheesy CG? It's like 90s CG. It's really bad. Look at that Borg. It's really, really bad. But I think it's funny. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, there's the reaction one. We're totally going down a Picard hallway here, just looking at them. No meat was wasted in the filming of this live. The more you know with the rainbow. Sergeant Slaughterhouse. How you doing? The Slaughterhouse is here. Lack. Doing well, mate. Yeah, mate. How are you? Thanks for asking. Ah, the legendary Star Trek Cup. Yes, the legendary Star Trek Cup. All right, so what Playmates has gone and done here now? So they have the Star Trek, that we just compared, and on the back of these, they show his equipment, very similar to the back of the original packaging, where they would show the equipment off, and they have a little data card with not as much text. The old data cards had a lot of text and information about them on there. And then they show the figures in a circle, which is what they did in the originals. But this one, they just got the three figures that are out right now: Picard, Data, and Riker. Now, I've seen Data and Picard and Data at a number of different stores, and I've been finding them for $12.99 at Walmart or Target, Amazon. Like, everyone seems to. Well, Amazon says they're $15.99, marked down to $12.99, but I've never seen one marked in a store for more than $12.99 so far. But I've never seen Riker in a store, and I can't believe that everyone's buying all the Rikers and they're not buying Picard and Data. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So I have a feeling that these two are out right now, and Riker's like going to be out in a month. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why everybody has these and not this one. But anyway, so they show those three on the back of that, and then same with this set here. We got a classic movie series Captain Spock, and this packaging is very much like the original Playmates packaging back in the 90s. I looked around on my ones that I have hanging on the wall back here, and I didn't have these two characters hanging on the wall. So I must have them. I know I have them, but they must be in a box because they're probably unpunched, or something is keeping them so they can't hang without ruining the card. So I got to get a case for a lot of my. I got to go to Figure Shield and get some cases for Star Trek figures that I could hang on the wall, because I don't have my full collection hanging, because I have a lot of them that are either unpunched or something about them will be damaged if I hang them up. So I don't want to hang them up just as a card. I got to get a case for them before I can hang them up. But on the back of the packaging, they do a similar thing. They've got all the accessories, a little data bio card, and then you've got the three characters that are out: Kirk, Spock, and Singh. And now the similar thing is happening everywhere I go. Amazon, Walmart, Target, they all have Spock and Singh, but they don't have Khan, but they don't have Kirk. So I've managed to get two Spocks, one Khan, and I don't have any Kirk yet. But Kirk, I could understand. Like, if people are going to buy one out of this set, they might buy Captain Kirk. So if there's like two Captain Kirks on the shelf, I could see them disappearing first. And then Khan second, and Spock might linger a little bit, because that could be why I've only got one Khan so far. But I've been finding Spock a lot, so I got two Spocks, so I can open this Spock. And then here's Khan here. So, like I said, I'm not going to open this one yet, because I've only got one of this guy so far. But we've got three to open today to compare and look at. So, and then, the back of the packaging. So, and then the other series, the other characters that are out is, we have two characters from Discovery. They're just called Star Trek Universe figures, and they show the Discovery ship on the packaging and a picture of the character, which is different than the old cards. The old cards, you wouldn't get a picture of the character and you wouldn't know, you know what I mean? Like, but this is like a totally new style. But I got these figures because they're part of the first wave, and I thought I would get them. But I'm not a big fan of Discovery. I kind of like this character. I like Saru as a character. I think he's pretty neat. But I don't think I'm going to open these, so I only got one of each. Because I don't really need to have Discovery display set up with loose action figures. Where I have already got a display set up with loose Star Trek Playmates from Star Trek and Next Generation. So it's kind of in a little bit of Deep Space Nine sprinkled in, because I have Quark and a few other characters from Deep Space Nine in my Alien section. But I don't really have like a Voyager or a true Deep Space Nine section. I don't have, of course I don't have a Discovery section because that's modern. And but I figured I'd get these two figures anyways because I was seeing them everywhere. Like if the last figures to go are these two, they're sitting all over the place, and I just figured I'd have them to complete the first wave. But I don't know if I'm going to buy every single Discovery figure that comes out. I might just get these two and have the first wave, and then if ever down the road they go, oh, here's the last wave of figures, I might get them for the last wave, because a lot of times the first wave and the last wave are what, if anything weird happens, that's where it happens. But anyways, on the back of the packaging on Discovery ones, they actually show all 8 figures that are out. The 3 from Classic, the 3 from Generation, and the 2 from Discovery. So I'm kind of wondering if this is going to be like a default package for Star Trek, because this doesn't say Discovery except over here on the side. So this is almost like a default package for Star Trek Universe. And then they're going to change the picture, change this little tab over here, and then you'll have all the figures on the back of this card, where some of the classic ones are going to remain classic like they were, and only show figures from that particular classic run. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of interesting how they're doing this with these figures. Yeah. But anyways, and these look taller. These look bigger. I guess Spock, it's just because of her hair, isn't it? I mean, Saru's taller because he's a taller species, a taller person, but I don't know. So anyway, those are the Discovery ones. In case anyone's interested, we'll just put them aside. But next, let's get some of these open and let's compare them with we can compare Picard and Data with the originals. But let's take a look at Spock first, because we were going to open Spock, and we'll see how these figures look. I think opening Spock is not a big... I use an X-Acto knife and I go around the bubble so that the card stays intact. That's kind of what I do. And the bubble's just taken off. So they do have bands in here holding them in. I don't think they need that, but they got it anyways. So these are basically the same generic tool things that we got with the original figures. There. Can't get the computer thing out, whatever this is. He looks into that, right? Doesn't he look into it? Oh, these are actually gloves. They got a slit. Can you see that? There's a slit in them, so they can actually go over his hands. I thought maybe they would just be extra hands that you could pop on and off, but no, they're actual gloves. That's funny. So let me cut these little things in here that are holding them in. Oh wow, that feels interesting. All right, let's put that back there, I guess. So this is interesting. Um, he feels very wow. This is different. This is he's very like easy to pose and move around. I actually kind of like this. I He feels way different than like a Star Wars Black or a Black Series or any other figure. It's very like the joints are tight, but look at how easy they move around. You know what I mean? Like I can just bend his leg and move his thing and move his arm around, and it's like there's no effort. Yeah, there's no effort to moving their parts. Like it's so he's got like feet movement and some ankle rock there, bendable knees, and they spin at the knee. A ball joint on the hip, no twist, and this skirt is very rubbery, so it's gonna let him. It'll fold out when he sits down, by the campfire. Arm joints that go up and down and then rotate all around. And we got elbow joint, and there's a spin in the elbow, and there's a twist at the hand even, but no bendable joint at the hand, and no waist joint. The head the head moves pretty good. It's on like a small ball joint. It looks like it, but it's not. The chin and neck are hitting the neck, so the chin and the back. So you can't really do much of the ball joint movement, but you can turn his head around and do a little bit of movement there. Live long and prosper. So pretty neat. He's got the flare in the pants, like we would expect. Little stripe down the side. The boots look good. The belt. I mean, the uniform looks very accurate to the movie, from my recollection anyway. From what I recall. So it's enough. It's enough for someone who's not a super Star Trek fan, but likes it enough where to me this looks and represents the Spock from the movie fine and looks really good in my opinion. There's a lot of text on his COO mark. I don't know if you can see that, but his whole back is basically printed out with text. Can you can see that, right? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. All right, let's catch up with the chat here. We got some more people that have come in. Keep on collecting's here. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Be safe in Florida? Yeah, yeah. Well, where so Lack and I got lucky, I guess, because Lack is far north on the western side, and I'm down south on the eastern side. So it came in north of me and hit the west coast and went across the state and went off the northeast side. So it missed the southeast and it missed the northwest where Lack is. So it kind of went between me and Lack. Yeah. Um, so we both seem to come through okay. Unfortunately, my family has two places in Bradenton, Florida, and they got hit. They got slammed, and my aunts are going to be down. Fits on the stand very well. The stand works very well for it. Um, the stand is a bit lame for what it was compared to the old ones. The old ones, you got a cool, like, look at that stand. But anyways, so yeah, my aunts are gonna be down next in like a couple weeks. I think next month. So at the end of October, beginning of November, and then they're gonna assess the damage because one of their neighbors told them a number of trees got knocked down and there's no power and water. So my aunts are like, well, if we come down now, we can't even really get into the place because of all the stuff that's knocked down. There's no water or electricity. So why sit around with no water and electricity? And the neighbors said that there's no holes in the home. So there's in either of the homes. We have two places that are in the same development in Bradenton. So my aunts use one, and my uncle and his family use the other one. So and one of them was left from our grandparents. But anyways, so they decided not to come till next month. We're going to wait for the cleanup to happen, and then wait for power and electricity to come back on, and water to come back on, so that they then can go in and clean up the yard and do other things, and maybe even spend a little bit of time relaxing. So they, yeah, but luckily neither place was damaged, so that's why they decided they could wait. Because if of course like the roof blew off or something, then they would come down immediately, because you wouldn't want flood water and things to get into your home. But yeah, so but hopefully we'll get to see them when they come down, because they're across. That's 4 hours away from me. But Super John made out good. He had worse weather. His name is Rodney Ansel. I'm hoping you're all safe. I heard we're Shabby. Yeah, I think it's already blown past. It came by Shabby's place Friday night. So I think that Shabby and them came through it okay, because I saw them online. Yeah, I went up there. Lost power, no reports that I received. Crocodile Dundee. Good morning, Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. Hello, Bill. How you doing? How you doing? Everyone's saying hello to each other. I have to meet my daughter. Celebrating my birthday. Ooh, happy birthday, Bill. Good to... Wow, happy birthday. September 30, but celebrating it today. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Cool. Jibber Jabber, how you doing? How you doing? The skirt hides the... Yes, it does. There is a bad crotch assembly in there, if you know. So yeah, the skirt hides that. We're not going to get that hidden on Picard or Data, I guess, though. Looks like a far superior figure than any Star Wars we're getting. I don't know. I mean, Star Wars is very hey, Big John. I mean, we have our issues with Hasbro at the moment because of their, we had distribution problems like a year ago that took a while for them to fix. We have price issues now. One problem gets fixed, like the distribution, and then we move on to price problems like we're having now. So, for the price, yeah, this is a superior figure. I'd rather get a Star Wars figure in this design for $12 or $13 than pay $15 to $18 for what, a highly articulated, what we're getting, almost movie realistic. Because I mean, you got to admit, Star Wars figures look, they're almost just like the frickin' movie, like this is Biggs, right? Biggs from when he was on the on Tatooine talking to Luke. But it looks almost straight out of the film, so you can't really knock. We got that Quarren fighter, and a lot of the joints on these things are far superior to anything they've made with other lines. So you get a good quality figure. It's just they cost too much money compared to what you're getting on other lines. Like, quite frankly, I would be happy with a $7.99, $8.99, or $9.99 Star Wars line that's like the Spin Master toys for Batman. Because, I mean, I don't. I guess what I'm saying is, if that level of accuracy and movie, thing is causing the prices to be $15 to $18, then I don't need it. I go back to 5 POA. Go back to the stuff we see down here in my Java playset and sell them to me for $10. Like, I don't. I don't know. Stay tuned. All right. Oh man, Jen, I didn't know your family had damage. Hope everything turns out no major trees. Yeah. Hurricane could do so much damage. Can you size compare the originals? Yeah, I will. Let me open Picard here next, and then we will do that. The new Star Wars is wee teeny. Isn't that an Ewok phrase? Wee teeny. Whenever I see those squid heads, I imagine them talking like pirates are. Or, yeah. Wee teeny. I think that's an Ewok term. Wee teeny. So let's open Picard and we can do a direct comparison. So let's get Picard open, because this Picard and this Picard are the same exact figure. So we'll be able to check them out exactly side by side. Yes, I'm trying to keep my card back. I'm gonna get a copyright strike because I'm singing the Star Trek song. All right. Captain Jean-Luc Picard, right here. So yeah, now we're gonna see that what he's calling the horrendous ball joint crotch thing. That I mean, it really is kind of a weird looking. Yeah. The old ones kind of were better, but they sacrificed being able to sit down. You couldn't make them sit down. So there we go. Let's do that, and then so what I could do here is I could adjust this camera. Yeah, by the way, these accessories are absolutely identical. They're absolutely the exact same. I mean, even the markings on the front, they just reused this mold. They totally just reused the mold for the, and then but on the old ones they put a sticker on there to make it look like a screen. This one, I guess the screen is turned off, so that's funny. Looks like I think the tricorder is this exact same one also. So is the data pad. Yeah, these are the exact same accessories. I mean, let me get this tricorder out here. I shoved it in his pocket. I can't get it out now. Does Data's tricorder come out? Yeah, Data's does. So, I don't know if you could see that, but they're the exact same mold and everything. Oh, they got lines on the new one. The new one has lines on the back, so it's not entirely the same mold. But maybe they had to do that to make it so it would fit in the character's hand. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, let's get to the size comparison, right? That's what we wanted. Yeah, it fits in his hand pretty good. We can put the problem is the phasers never. They didn't fit right in the past, and they kind of don't fit right even now. And I don't like how they have this cheesy, like, red. Like, why is that on? I know it was on the originals, but come on, you don't need that on there. That's not how it works. It looks like a whip. You know, I don't. We're not going to use that accessory on them. We're going to give them a data pad or something. All right. Let's try this. Let's do. My original ones are very, very stiff. That one was very stiff. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try this. Can I zoom in? Like, is there like a zoom? There's no zoom on this on StreamYard, is there? So we kind of have. I'm trying to decide which head I like better. I don't know. I actually kind of like the original Playmates head. Doesn't it look too squished? Like, someone squished his head. Like, I didn't think so in the packaging, but now that I'm seeing them side by side, I actually kind of like the original one better. I don't know. I know I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to be like, oh, the new one is great. Look how awesome it is, compared to the old one. But I don't know. There's no denying that in the original Star Trek stuff, Playmates knocked it out of the park with that original line. I mean, they're beautiful action figures. The originals are, and so I guess if I were to score them, I guess I'd be like, I like the plastic better on the new ones. Okay, so plastic wins on the new ones. The posability on the new ones wins. So there's 2 points for the new one. Okay, but sculpting and detail, I like the original. And the head sculpt looks much better. It looks more like Picard. Like, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who on the new one. I don't see Picard in that face. I see like some other old guy, but not Picard. Where this clearly says Picard. This does not. This doesn't look like Picard, but this looks like Picard. So it's kind of a weird. Yeah, and then as far as accessories and display stands go, the old one wins because you've got this really cool looking display stand that says Picard on it, and this is just a generic Star Trek symbol. So we got 2 points going to the old one and 2 points going to the new one. What could be our tiebreaker? What's funny is there's actually a lot more detail in the costume and sculpting of the original one than there is on the new one. Man, when you're putting them side by side, I don't know. I really just think the original has an edge. What do you guys think? I think the original has an edge over the new one. I really do. I don't think the posability of the new one outweighs the the sculpting and the coloring and the details. Like, all the details around the neck and on the uniform are more pronounced and better on the original than they are on the new one. And Yeah, there's not. It's very weird. I did not expect this. I always expect like, oh, the modern one's gonna just be a way better version. But from now on, I might leave these carded. I, I might not bother getting a second one to open because they're not that. I'm sorry, they're not as good. At least with the next generation. Like I like the Spock from the I like the Spock here, but next generation I kind of like the originals. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's see what people are saying here. Lieutenant Yar. Yeah, they're gonna. We need a drum roll. John humming the theme. There we go. Yeah. Hideous crotch assembly. Yeah, yeah. See, I like to get the squid head and Moncal and set them up in my aquarium. Yeah, I got the Moncalas right here anyway. He's got his shield and spike thing. Yeah, so those are cool figures. Those were really cool figures. That's funny. They're just off camera here. Vintage crotch. Yeah, yeah. Any crotch is fine with me. Why reinvent the wheel if you've already got the tooling? Yeah, yeah. The gloob on the Playmates Enterprise bridge. Oh, Playmates bridge set. I don't know about that. I mean, yeah. I'm impressed they have the stuff Hasbro loses. Everything decent they ever did. The sizing seems realistic, yeah. Evil Picard head. I like the new one for some customs. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Original looks more accurate in the face. The OG is better, like everything. The head on the new one looks off. It does. It does. I think it does. The price of the new ones and the way they look. Custom City, baby. Yeah, yeah. There's definitely room. The original shrunk because he's older. Crushes just don't work. Time for some customizing. $1 million. Okay. Show the new one next to the bigs again. You want to see the bigs? We'll put bigs in here, yeah. So they're completely correct. Read my mind, Lack. Original for Andrew, yeah. New one's Kit Bash City. Probably discard the next gen. Glad you opened these. Probably not buy and keep the original displayed. Yeah, see, for me, I'm gonna keep getting. Hey, usual Mike, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Jean-Luc is a giant, yeah. G'day, Mike. Panthers 1 easy, eh? Yeah, so we'll still open Data and we'll put Data next to them. We'll just look at them since the whole reason I got this one was to open it. So we'll give it one more comparison here, but now that I've opened a couple, I have a feeling I'm just going to get one of each from now on and just keep them on card. Because I don't think I'm going to be building a display with the modern figures because I think I like the vintage ones better myself. And I just do. I think I'm going to I'm going to stick with that and for my displays. I love the ships, the vehicles they're putting out, because they're, like we saw when I opened the Enterprise. But if I get a modern ship, I might just put older action figures with it, 90s figures with a modern ship, because it's too bad I don't have an original ship to compare ship to ship with, modern to old, because that would really I think with the ships they're doing a lot of retooling the old stuff, right? They didn't really change that much, did they? Boy, these stands are not that good. Yeah. I think Data looks a little weird to me. How's this supposed to go? Well, I don't know. We're gonna move him back. You good with Biggs? We're gonna move Biggs out of the way here. And let's see here. I want them to stay in the view. And then I want to add Data into the mix here. And I have no idea how to use this. You're going to have to put one in each hand. And I kind of don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. And then you have one of the bigger phasers with the whip. So yeah. We got our little computer there. So I'm getting more accessories than I want to use. Again, I think that happened with the originals though, so it's not a big deal. But doesn't Data look weird? Like there's something I don't like the leg. It's this. It's from here down. It just, yeah, I like the originals better. I do. Oh my gosh, this is funny. I do. I like the originals better. I'm not. I was so excited to get modernized figures from Playmates, and now that I have them open, I'm not as excited. I'm sorry to say that, at least for the next generation, guys, I like the originals better than the new ones. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. In the news. Hey, Mike. Yeah. It's time for the news. Much respect. Yeah. Did not cover the news of the life and death of Rodney Ansel. I sold all my Star Trek Playmates a few years back to buy the 5 POA Rogue One figures. Oh, yeah. I got rid of most of my Playmates. I had, like, I swear I must have had almost everything. And I think it was after I moved to Seattle I didn't have enough room to keep everything. So I pared down my Star Trek Playmates, and I pared down my prequel figures. So episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and a lot of the Power of the Force 2 figures. Like, what I did is, I remember, in the end, I kind of made out. I kind of was. I'm kind of okay with this, because what happened was I took the boxes that I had. I might have had like a box and a half or 2 boxes of the Power of the Force episode 1, 1, 2, and 3, and maybe a couple Clone Wars figures in there. I don't know, but I had those boxes, and I had the box of Star Trek Playmates, a couple boxes of them, and I took them to a shop, a guy I knew that had a place called the One Stop Toy Shop, and he did toys and comics, and I traded those 4 boxes or whatever it was for a Hulk 181 comic book, which is the first appearance of Wolverine. I got an Ugnaught on an Empire Strikes Back card, and I got a bunch of clone troopers and things that I wanted, some Yoda items. So in the end, like, if you look at it now, 25 years later, after doing that trade, like, Hulk 181 probably went from $100 to $200 to $10,000. The Ugnaught on an Empire Strikes Back card, I remember he had it marked at $40 in his store, and now they're $200, right? All the Yoda stuff went up. Like, yeah, so I mean, like, the figures and comics I got in the trade have far exceeded the value, if you're going by dollar value, of those episode 1 and Power of the Force 2 and Star Trek Playmates. So I kind of made out. And but the only thing that's funny is that in recent years, like in the last 7-8 years, I've gone back and bought all the episode 1 figures on card. I've bought a number of Star Trek Next Generation and Deep Space Nine figures on card, and a lot of them are the ones that I had when I traded. You know, like, I kept maybe like the main bridge crew, and I don't think I kept any of the original of the episode 1 carded figures. But I've gone back and bought all those, so now I pretty much have them again anyways, and have the Hulk 181 and the Ugnaught on card and everything else, So yeah, so really it was like, yeah, it worked out for me, I think, the trade. But doesn't always work out that way, right? And I remember I kind of had to beg him, because I was really trying to work it out so I could get that Hulk 181. And I remember he was like, "You really want that Hulk 181, don't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." Because I think he had that marked at $150 in his store at the time. And again, this was like 25 years ago, So yeah, it was like, and yeah, and eventually I just kind of talked him into it. I was like, "Come on, man." Yeah, I don't remember exactly what I said because it was so long ago, but somehow I talked him into doing that trade, and it worked out, Because I think even at the time, he was selling a lot of those figures for $5 to $10, and I think he counted up how many figures I had. He did a quick count in all the boxes, and roughly estimated in his head that he'd be getting back like $400 or $500, So I think when he looked at it with the trade, he was like, okay, $150 for the Hulk comic, $40 for the Ugnaught, you know what I mean? And he started calculating the other stuff I had in the pile, and he probably was like $300 or $400 worth of stuff. So if he could sell all the figures for $500 or whatever that I was giving him, he was making out at the end of the deal. You know what I mean? At that particular moment in time, it probably looked to him like he was making out on that deal. So he ended up going for it. But in the long run, I made out a lot better. Unfortunately, sorry. But But I was still in touch with that guy. His name is Scott. I was still in touch with him for many, many years. Since I moved to Florida, I haven't talked to him much, but yeah, we ended up being like, what do you call it? I guess acquaintances. We weren't really friends. We didn't hang out, but we would always see each other at Comic-Cons and the things, and we'd talk, or sometimes we'd have lunch if we were at the Comic-Con together. So it was kind of one of those guys that, like, when you bumped into him, you hung out and did something like lunch or got an ice cream or went and got a drink, but you didn't really call him from your house and be like, hey, let's hang out tonight. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. It was that kind of friendship, whatever you call that kind of friendship. It's not really a friendship, but it's not just, yeah, it's not nothing also, you know? I don't know. Inflation adjusted. Yeah. No, because what's funny is a lot of the, like, when I went to rebuy a lot of the episode 1 figures and the Star Trek Playmates, like right now, like up until about a year, up until the lockdown. So right before lockdown, when I was going out to like community sales and event sales, like small little toy shows or comic shows, like I would buy 2 for $5, 4 for $10 on the Playmates figures. And I was finding like episode 1 and Power of the Force figures for like, 3 for $10, $5 each, or 3 for $10, stuff like that. So I was buying them up. I'd spend 40, $50 on them and just buy, 15, 20 figures, you know what I mean? Like carded on card, So they didn't change, in from 25 years ago till 2 or 3 years ago. They didn't change in price. They didn't go up in value. They were $5 25 years ago, and they're $5 3 years ago. So, but I am starting to see some of the episode 1 figures and some of the Power of the Force and a few Star Trek Playmates figures from the 90s are starting to go up, because there's a few that I wish I had got, because I wasn't getting a lot of Voyager figures. And I remember seeing 7 of 9 in those piles where, with 3 for $5 or whatever. So I could have got 7 of 9 for $2 or whatever it was. That works out to $1.75 or whatever, so. But now when I go online and look up 7 of 9, she's like 20, 30, sometimes $50. So 3 years ago, I could have got her for less than $2. And now she's on eBay and Mercari for $30, $40, $50. So it's kind of like, but I didn't know at the time which figures were going to go up, which were going to end up popular 3 or 4 years down the road, and which were going to stay, because a lot of them stayed at $5 or less. If there's tons of the I guess you could say generic figures that are all over the place, still for $5 or less, even on eBay and stuff. But certain figures like 7 of 9, and I think Locutus of Borg is going up, and there's a few that are starting to go up, and it's got to be something with supply and demand. Of course, there must be more scarcity on some of these figures than others. And then, like, same with there's like those droids, like a lot of the droids, like pit droids, the that blue R2 unit from episode 1, like a lot of the droids and some few figures from episode 1 that were $5 or less 2 or 3 years ago are now going up $20, $30, $40, So I think it's starting to catch on, and I think you give it another 5 to 10 years, and most episode 1 figures will be $50 or more for each figure. And it's shocking to hear that, because you're like, no way, they've been $5 for so long. And then, but that's how it happened with Kenner guy. I mean, like I said, that Ugnaught was $40, and he was $40 for like 10 years, and now all of a sudden they're $200, $250, $300, especially on an Empire Strikes Back card. It's like, yeah, so things can stay at the same price for 10, 15 years or longer, and then suddenly have an increase. Like, it's crazy. Because I remember for the longest time, I had a rule that I wouldn't pay more than $60 for a carded Star Wars figure. And that rule lasted me until probably 6 or 7 years ago. And then all of a sudden, I had to raise that limit to $100 and then raise it to $150. And now it's like $200 is my limit, So it's like, in the last, I was able to buy figures for $60 or less all the way up until probably 2014 or 2015. And then all of a sudden in the last 7, 8 years, they've skyrocketed. They've just gone bonkers, and almost to the point where I can't buy anymore. I gotta live with what I have, yeah. I bought a Playmates bridge a few years ago. I bought the original Star Trek bridge, the cardboard one with all the figures, but the cardboard was ruined. So I pulled all the figures out and I have the figures, but I just got rid of the cardboard because it was all destroyed and moldy and water damaged and crap. But the figures are perfect, so I got all them standing around. In 1996, I pretended to like Star Trek to get close to a person. Then, no warning, I crushed. Oh, jeez! What lack? What the hell? Gosh, you sure you want to say that online? Jeez. You want to come over and play D&D? Yeah. Jonathan, how you doing? But $5 is worth less than $5. Yeah, right. It is actually. Technically, it is. Yeah, bought for $10.50, sold for $15. Not much more. That's what. Rolando. Hello, Rolando. Hello. So, I did notice the time. I do have to get going very soon. A gallon of milk will also be $50. Yes, in 5 or 10 years, a gallon of milk will also be $50. Yes, that's true. Yes. Yeah, they have. We were just showing that on USR the other night. I still have receipts in my Nintendo and Super Nintendo games, and we found a game that I had the receipt in from 1992, and the game cost $59.99. And a lot of games today are still $60 when they come out. Some are $70 when they come out. So, yeah, the price of video games has not changed. John McGuire, how you doing? Good to see you. I saw a new Riker and Data. Oh, okay. So Riker is out. Okay. That was all just a joke, everyone. Humor. Okay. I got you. Good. Okay. It's cheaper to put milk in your car than gas. Yeah. It is that right now. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up because at 8 o'clock I'm watching Formula One with my brother. The race in Singapore starts at 8, so I've got 10 minutes to meet my brother and watch that race with him. But I think we did good opening these guys up and comparing them with the originals. And I think are we unanimous? Are we unanimous in saying that as far as loose figures go, the old ones are better? Like, we like the Picard, the old style, better than the new one. We like the old Data better than the new one. I'm correct in saying that, right? We don't have to, I feel like that's kind of the conclusion we've come to here. I can't really stand those up, can I? Oh, I know. I can use my little wood blocks. I got these like little wood blocks that I use sometimes for doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, there we go. Wanted to see if we could get Data in here better. We could see him better. There we go. But yeah, I think the older figures look. I mean, there's something wrong with these legs. The wasted legs. There's something wrong. It almost looks like an artist doll, like the artist with those little dolls that artists used to draw, the wooden dowel like characters, the wooden characters that you use for posing a figure, and then you can draw, and it's got the proportions and everything right, so you can kind of draw. Um, I feel like that's what these next generation ones look like. They're kind of, yeah, yeah. They're saying, well, Tunnel Rat's online playing golf with Salacious. Yeah, the old is better. The old ones are better. Old ones are better than the new. I didn't even know they were making new Star Trek ones. Yeah, we all agree. The old ones are better proportioned. Good vibes. Gojitron. Good to see you, Goji. Good to see you. I saw something on I watched one of your videos the other day when I was working Lego. And that is a thing. I am watching people's videos even if I don't get a chance to comment, because my job requires a lot of driving around. So what I do is I oftentimes will look at what new videos came out and make a playlist, and then I hit play in the car, and so I'm essentially listening to all of the videos that you guys make, and then but I'm driving, so I can't actually comment or anything. So yeah, a lot of times people ask, like, are you even, I'm like, yes, I'm watching, but I'm in the car, so I can't comment. And sometimes I remember to go back, like when I get home after work, sometimes I do remember to go back and comment on some videos. But yeah, I caught one the other day of Gojitrons. It was really good. Yeah. Wood dolls. Those legs, although they don't, yeah, yeah. The waistline, and yeah, not good. Yeah. Yeah, they're probably for. Do I have a 5-inch figure around here? What do we usually consider He-Man figures 5 inches, and they're shorter. Yeah, they're shorter than Clawful by half a head. So if naked Clawful is a 5-inch figure, then the Picard is 4.5, basically. Oh, Naked Clawful just destroyed the set. I've wrecked the place. It is I, Naked Clawful, and I'm ruining everything. Yeah, all right, whatever. But I do gotta say real quick that this I still think that Khan looks pretty good, but we're not. I don't have another Khan to open, but he does look pretty good. You know. Maybe these look better on the packaging than they do out of the card. So if you're gonna get them for the packaging. But yeah, I don't. I'm not. I'm not 100% convinced on the loose figures. Sorry, Playmates, but I don't think I'm going to be opening any more of these. I think I'm done opening them. Con to open. I actually don't think I'm going to get a second con now. I don't see the point. Hey, Mark, how you doing? I didn't see where you came in, but hello, Mark. What do we do? We need a live stream. He says soon. Mark does a live stream almost every day, doesn't he? Anatomical models are called mannequins. Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. Goji's link there. There's Goji's link. 4-inch seems to be the new standard. New Judge Dredd 4 inches too. I only comment while driving. Mannequin Skywalker. The mothership drives herself at that speed. Jonathan. Thanks, Rolando. Thanks for putting up some links. All right, guys, I'm gonna go NFL in London. Ooh, watch that. London NFL. All right, yeah, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna watch the race with my brother. Maybe he'll be playing golf while we're watching the race as well. I don't know. We'll see. And I think 10 o'clock. So in like 2 hours, Rum's got his Lego build thing, which I'm not gonna make it on either. I got some stuff to do during the day here, but yeah. And are they doing fitness? Are they doing fitness over on Geek Strong's channel today? I don't know, but yeah. Hit the like button for John. Thank you. All right, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you all sticking with me while we look at these Star Trek figures. And Darth Muzzle just showed up. Hey, everyone. Damn, I just missed you guys. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of NFL today, so I know we'll be watching some of those games later. Or have them on while I'm cleaning up and doing stuff. I really got to get this place back in order because the living room is just a total mess. There's stacks and stuff everywhere, and I got to buy shelving. I got to set up shelving. I got, so much stuff to do. And I think a lot of it is I got to move these cases. These cases that are behind you here are going in the living room eventually. I got a space for them already and everything. So I've just got to empty them, move them out there, put everything back in, and then I've got to plan for this corner space here of what I'm going to do. So I got to go buy that stuff from IKEA to make this corner work out, and then get some pegboard because I'm going to do one more wall of pegboard with the hang carded figures, and then I got a couple more. I got to get a couple more Detolf things to finish the Detolf wall in the living room, and then figure out one more spot. There's a spot to the left of the television that I got to totally rework and figure out what kind of shelving and what kind of thing I'm going to do for that. And then once all the shelving and everything is put in, then I got to go through the storage sheds and unbox and clean up the living room as far as because there's stacks of stuff that has to go on display once I get all the new shelves put up. So it's like it's a total mess, I feel like I need a couple weeks off from my job, and I just spend on building the toy displays, Thanks, keep on collecting. It's your birthday. It's not my birthday. All right. We're gonna play on the way out. Let's play. What did we do earlier? We did the kaiju turtle gymnastics. Let's do drop kicks, Godzilla drop kicks, and then I will see you guys later. So thank you so much for hanging out with me and looking at these Star Treks, and I will see you guys later in the week, hopefully. Bye-bye.